So first and foremost, I want to say, I feel like a lot of you guys for the month of June, you need patience. Patience is something that patience and moderation is needed. I feel like you guys are at a point in your life where you want things to really move fast and rapidly, and it's like you're getting impatient and your patience is wearing off and you feel like you're a little bit frustrated. I also feel like for those of you who are going through a situation, possibly there might be some type of depression, contemplation, can't sleep well, just laying in bed, maybe you might cry yourself to sleep type of situation. I feel like it's due to somebody that you're involved with. I feel like a lot of you guys are involved with an air sign, which can be a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. I feel like that person that you're involved with can possibly be old in body, but young at heart. Like there's a lot of they have maturing to do. When I see the Page of Swords, it's, to me, it's like a childlike energy. And although the person might not be a child, but their characteristics are childlike, possibly they're not mature yet, so they have maturing to do. And I feel like you're in some type of trouble quarrel with them. For those of you who are hoping for reconciliation, I feel like there's possible energy for someone to return. I feel like somebody could have walked away without really telling you sorry, or walked away in kind of one of those situations where they hurt you, walked away, or, stole your heart and just walked away with it and didn't never looked back. One of those scenarios when they wake up all of a sudden and say that they don't want to be with you type of situation. I feel like you're going to have that opportunity for them to come back and say they're sorry to you. They're going to come back and tell you that they're sorry. I feel like follow your intuition, because for those of you who are going through this trouble where you can't sleep, you're not entirely sure what the next step is going to be. If you're going to find that love, I feel like you will be successful. Rest assured, believe in your intuition, because I feel like a lot of you guys are just looking for reassurance. You're not really looking for somebody to say, hey, you know what, this is what's going to happen. Because I kind of feel like you already know what's going to happen. You don't need me to tell you what is going to happen. Be patient, because I feel like a lot of you guys for this month of June, a lot of you guys who are single are going to be finding, I feel like this is going to be the month. This will be the month for you to find a new relationship or start something new. Since you have 2 aces in the reading, it is a love reading, but I feel like for those of you who are struggling financially, possibly you guys might be getting a new job offer or gift of some kind soon. You will be successful. So for those of you who are second guessing themselves, I see some type of something to do with work, like job opportunity, a gift of some kind, materialistic things. If you are struggling in that department, I feel like you're going to have some type of gains. Let me see. I'm going to pull out some clarity cards. So I feel like the Queen of Wands is your energy. It is a fire sign, so that considers being Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So fire sign I feel like although some of you might be dealing too with a fire sign, and you have to work well and collaborate with the person that you're involved with. I feel like a lot of you guys are dealing with somebody of the same element, but as far as you guys getting along together, it's not a great mix. I feel like that person is loving, warm-hearted, but they they might try to smuggle you. I feel like they're more needy than you are. Be careful, because I feel like for the month of June as well, collaborating with other people, you'll have to work hard in. Possibly with the people you're dealing with, you have to just take some time out and be willing to hear somebody else's side of the story, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you guys are not. And some of the Leos can be very vocal and possibly not get along with everybody. But again, guys, this is just a general reading. So if this does not resonate, make sure you watch your moon and or rising sign. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be having that card where I feel like you guys are laying in the bed depressed or sad, anxieties, depression. That is brought upon because something has ended. I feel like there's some type of separation between some of you guys. There was the death card is a death of something. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody died, but it also signifies like something a period of transformation. Although things have ended, I still feel like it's an opportunity to rebuild yourself. I feel like for those of you who are going through that sadness and that separation of some kind, your energies are scattered. Possibly the relationship could have ended because the other person's energy was scattered as well. Maybe there was a third party interference within that situation, and I feel like it's one of those situations where both parties are not thinking clearly. Okay, you're not thinking clearly. So for those of you who are going through that separation, I don't see you guys thinking, the right way. You have to take some time out, focus on yourself, separate yourself from that thing. There is going to be reconciliation. You will get justice. So at that, any legal documents, papers, or anything like that need to be signed on your behalf. As far as the divorce or separation, everything will go in your favor. For those of you who are seeking, I feel like maybe the person that ran away, that's coming back to say sorry, I feel like that person just walked away, okay, and didn't look back, and kind of just had this it's kind of like one of those scenarios where you never thought it would have happened, and they kind of just showed you their true colors, okay, and you're hoping for a chance to really tell them how you feel and how they did you wrong, and why did they do that. And I feel like you're gonna have that chance to get justice, so you're gonna have that chance to say to give your side of the story, to tell them how you feel, and to just really vent to them and tell them how you thought that what they did was wrong to you, okay? So there will be justice, okay? So if you're wondering about that, there will be justice with that person. Again, I feel like another scenario can also be, I feel like a lot of you guys can possibly be dealing with 2 or more people. One of them is an older sign, the other one is a younger sign, and the one that's a younger sign is an adventurer, possibly looking for, a good time, not something that they're going to settle down with. I also see a birth of something, so maybe a lot of you guys might be having babies for the month, or a birth of a new idea, a birth of a birth of something new, okay? Okay, so for those of you who are looking for, it's funny, look at this deck, guys. This is the Morgan Greer deck. The last deck on the card is the 7 of Swords, and the last deck on the first deck that I use, which is the Rider-Waite deck, that is a 7 of Swords. So somebody's definitely going to come back and tell you sorry, try to right their wrongs. I feel like you couldn't trust this person. Like, they had this mask on that you were unaware of, and it just happened all of a sudden. And I feel like even if they were to return, possibly you won't be able to trust them because they're not completely honest with you, okay? So for the Ace of Cups is a renewal. I feel like a season, which is going to be significant to you. So possibly for this month, this is June, so the ending of the month is the starting of the summer. So possibly for this month, I feel like maybe you guys are going to get that message that you're hoping for or looking for. But I do want to say, really think about what it is you want, because what you want, sometimes what we want isn't exactly what we're going to get, and maybe it's not going to happen the way that you want it to. But I feel like you have to go through so much in order to get that. I feel like for those of you who are dealing with somebody returning back, possibly this person, you put you through so much. Like, they hurt you to the point where it's unexplainable. Like, I can't even explain how bad they hurt you. And I feel like all the answers to your questions are finally going to arrive. I feel like all the struggles that you're going through, it's finally going to come to an end. There's going to be a period where it's going to end, and you're not going to feel that anymore. Okay? Oh, Strength card again. Okay, so this person, this air sign, it doesn't necessarily have to be an air sign. It could be, they're going to have qualities like an air sign. Like I said, I feel like a lot of you guys might be involved with somebody that is young, old in body, young at heart. They can be a little bit not mature, and a little child. Their characteristics might be childlike. Okay. They're very stubborn. I feel like it's hard to get through to them, because at the same time, it's like both parties have an ego, and both parties want to be right. So have patience and moderation. I feel like a lot of you guys might feel like, are they going to come back, or are they going to ever change? With this person right here, I feel like a lot of you guys are involved with them. I feel like it's more so a good time than what it is what you're really looking for. I feel like be wary of them, because I don't feel like they're very honest. I feel like it's more of a party going out, having a good time type of situation. That's what they're looking for. When this sign comes up, I feel like that person is looking for a good time. Like, they're as quick as they come, that's how quick they go. They don't stay in a permanent place for a long time. I feel like there's one of the situations where they can be with you today and then throw you out into the cold, okay? Like I said before, take care of your financial, because I also feel like possibly that person is the type of person looking for looking for something that's convenient for them, okay? Maybe they might want to separate from you because financial on your end is not doing too well. And they might just want to throw you out in the cold to kind of fend for yourself. Because I feel like a lot of you guys for the month of June, or that's coming from May to June, I feel like there was a separation with somebody at some point, and it kind of just threw you out in the cold, and they didn't really care. Okay, they hurt you, they just walked away, and you were just left to fend for yourself. So I feel like there's some type of reconciliation on both ends. Another thing I do want to say too, this scenario could play out two ways. It can be where the person walked away from you, or you walked away from the person, vice versa. Also keep in mind that whatever we do has consequences. So I feel like a lot of the times people don't really realize that if it's vice versa. Remember that sometimes that when we're not thinking clearly, because I feel like both parties, their energies are scattered. So it's like an illusion type of situation. You want something, but you're not really seeing things for what they really are, okay? Alrighty. So follow your intuition, because there is going to be a reconciliation of some kind for the month of June. Like I said before, I feel like this person you've dealt with, there's emotions, there's attachments there. So somebody's going to return and want to reconcile, possibly say right their wrongs, like I said before, tell you sorry. I kind of feel like although that person is going to return, I still feel like you're gonna be at that point where you're gonna say there's so much more out there for me. So I feel like although that person's looking at you, you're not gonna be looking at them. There's gonna be bigger and better things out there for you guys. So if you guys are focused, I know you might be some type of attachment to this person, but at the same time, I feel like it's not gonna matter anymore, because it's gonna be that time where it's like they hurt you so bad that it's gonna be one of those situations where you're gonna be like, how can I go back with them, or how could they take me back? So for those of you, vice versa, if you did it to somebody, I feel like what's going to happen is you guys can return, and that person is not going to, will listen to what you have to say. You're going to need that kind of like that conversation for closure, but they have so much more out there going for them. They feel like they have the world on their hands, and it's going to be hard to, convince them as to why they should take you back. Now, if it's on your end, I feel like really think about what it is, figure out what it is you want, manifest what it is that you want, believe in yourself. I feel like, if they hurt you to a certain extent, because I feel like they hurt you guys so bad, really weigh your options and really think about it, because at the same time, it's like someone that hurt you and just walked away from you. You shouldn't have to wait for somebody to realize that you were the one. You shouldn't have to wait for someone to realize that you were really worth it. And I shouldn't have done that. I know life's about trial and error, but at the same time, it's kind of like you need to learn how to value yourself. Okay, when you learn how to change your taste in a person, then you'll find something. You'll be able to find something. But until you continue to let things continue, it's going to be the same scenario, the same rundown, the same circle, the same cycle. So you don't want to do that, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this reading.